Have you ever heard of Arizona's Homestead Protection Act? If you haven't, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of what it was and what it is changing into. I'm not a lawyer, and so if you think this might affect you, this video is just intended to kind of give you an introduction, and I would highly encourage you to get legal advice about this topic or something like that. So basically, homestead protection in the past said that $150,000 worth of equity in your primary residence is kind of untouchable by judgments and liens, not like mortgage or tax liens, but mainly judgments and civil suits and bill collectors and different things like that. If you were to sell your home and you had a judgment against you, they could place a lien on your house, but you were guaranteed that at least $150,000 of that was still going to go to you. The good news is that the state legislature recently raised that ceiling, the homestead protection amount, to $250,000, which is good considering how much home values have risen. Average sales prices have risen by $100,000 just in the past year. So there's a really good chance that many homeowners have significantly more than $150,000 worth of equity in their home. The bad news is that a change in the law now allows judgments to take precedence over that homestead protection. So if a creditor is able to get a judgment against you and it is recorded against your house, even though it's your primary residence, that 150 or 250 now is no longer guaranteed and protected under homestead exemption. And that is going to take effect as of January 1st of 2022. So it is a huge change. Oh, and one more thing on that is that it can be retroactive. So the judgment does not necessarily have to have been placed before January 1st, 2022. A creditor or someone else could get a judgment against you from something that happened previously. I'm sure there's some statute of limitations and that kind of thing. Let's say something happened in 2020. They go out and get a judgment and place it on your house. You might run into some big problems selling that house. Most likely that judgment is going to have to be paid. So very, very big change. Again, if you think this might affect you, I think probably the most common scenario where this is going to affect people is medical debt. Again, I'm not a bill collector and I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how often the medical collectors are going to be seeking judgments, but I am willing to bet that it will become more frequent now that this law has passed, because they can pretty much tie your hands, put a judgment on your house and say, hey, you can't sell your house now. You've got $300,000 worth of equity in your house. Someday when you sell, we're getting our money one way or another. So keep that in mind, and please let me know if you have any additional questions. I hope you found this information helpful.